I feel it's important to note that the protocols employed at these hospitals and police departments, they do not keep the Bollingers safe. They do not keep me safe. The only people that they actually keep safe are the money holders and the police. These protocols that they put into place protect the people with the money. They protect the people who made the mistakes. These protocols, this jurisdictional BS, has not kept the Bollingers safe. My inability to go hurt people is what kept the Bollingers safe. These protocols did not keep me safe. They were used and utilized to victimize me and prevent me from having an honest day in court. Not just from having an honest day in court, but also from pursuing these law enforcement officers for their wrongdoing. Now, the Bollingers, that's the dad's side of the family. They're rotten to the core. In the name of Jesus, gay men. Natalie's mother's side, yeah, I'm pretty sure that they are victims of all this. At the same time, there's a lot more that they could have done. See, their bias and their assumptions of me and who I am really led to a lot of stuff that I didn't deserve. And a lot of stuff that, honestly, I don't think they deserved either. Nobody deserves this shit. Are these people genuinely afraid of me? Fuck yes, my voice is mighty. And, really, if these people had any brains whatsoever, they'd realize that their bias destroyed more lives than just mine. More lives than just Natalie's. When it all comes down to it, what the Boulder Police Department did for the time period between the 1st of January of last year and the 6th of January of last year really set the tone for all of this. Had they not done that, this all could have been done peacefully. Now, on the other hand, there's the Broomfield Police Department who took part in this, and the Adams County Police Department. When I called to make a complaint to the Broomfield Police Department, even though it happened in the Broomfield Police Station, they told me that it was out of their jurisdiction. When I called the Adams County ones to complain about their officers, they told me it was out of their jurisdiction. Now, as far as saving all this information, it was all written down on notepads and various pieces of paper and whatever I had handy at the time. The names of officers and things of that nature, well, most of those are gone. And that's part of what sucks so badly about all of this, is that I saved evidence for a reason, so that people would look at it. Not so that they would refuse. Not so that they would steal it from one jurisdiction and take it to another. I needed that information handy in the jurisdiction that I was in. Instead of these cops going, all right, well, we're not going to look at any evidence, but we're going to investigate ourselves. Well, that's completely fucking asinine. Am I incorrect about this? The way that homeless people are treated in the United States is fucking abhorrent. Most of us had jobs when we ended up homeless. Me, I started off homeless. It was Jason Jepson, Kimberly Jepson, Terry Jepson, and Ron Jepson taking me in and letting me utilize their garage space in the house in Chapel, Nebraska, that allowed me to basically kind of sort of not be homeless when I first got out of the system. I was in the Colton Boys and Girls Home, and they had an issue there that in Nebraska, you're not an adult. You're not considered a legal adult until you're 19 years of age. And I tried to get legally emancipated so that I could go to school and not have to go through sentencing. See, they wanted to sentence me for running away from my mother's house for not washing dishes, when in all actuality it was over cocaine. Not my cocaine, my mother's cocaine, my brother's cocaine, and the cocaine belonging to a child molester by the name of Doug Cowden. And I was sentenced to Job Corps. They said, you got two choices. You can either go to a juvenile facility because you're a runaway, or you can go to Pine Ridge Job Corps Center. Between the two, I chose Pine Ridge Job Corps Center. That ended up being a mistake. I probably should have gone to juvie. At juvie, I wouldn't have been escorted out at gunpoint. By the way, the man who did that, his name was Hicks. I don't remember his first name, but he was a forest ranger up there, and he was in charge of the paint shop. That's where everybody with an IQ lower than 50 ended up. If you had a 0 IQ, you could still go to the paint shop. What's the moral of this ramble? Oh, yeah. At the age of 19, I was a legal adult according to the state of Nebraska. However, there was a kid in the Colton Boys and Girls Home who just wouldn't leave me alone. Just wouldn't. Absolutely refused. And one night he came in and he was flipping on and off the light, and I screamed at him. He just wouldn't stop. He just kept on doing it. So, because I screamed at him, they called 911. And even though I was calm, Officer Adam Frericks showed up. He's Jennifer Frericks and Tyler Frericks' uncle. And he told me I was the most respectful person he'd ever arrested. There's a reason for that. I wasn't looking for trouble. I was looking to be left alone. And that's been pretty much the majority of my life. If people are assholes, I leave. If I can't leave or I'm trapped, that's when we have an issue. And I make excellent decisions when it comes to when to walk away. The problem is when you've got law enforcement that wants to be a bunch of douchebags to you for 5 days straight, and then pretend that they were justified in the things that they did on the 6th day after basically being assholes to you for 5 days straight, well, they're preventing me from leaving. They're preventing me from making a police report. They're preventing me from doing what it is that the Adams County detectives had asked me to do. These are all major issues. Now, when I was in the Colton Boys and Girls Home, they did something that they told me that they couldn't do when I was 17. That's to emancipate me as an adult. They said there are no emancipation laws in Nebraska. Then, when they wanted to charge me as an adult, they emancipated me at the age of 18 so that they could charge me as an adult for disturbing the peace at Colton Boys and Girls Home. Why did they do that? To fuck me starting off at 18 years of age. We want to keep tabs on this one. Well, that's the thing. They did something that they said was illegal, that they couldn't do, and they actually did it. So, they lied to me. This is how I started off my being a legal adult. On the bright side, I got to be a legal adult at the age of 18 in a state where everybody else is not a legal adult until they're 19. Natalie wasn't from Nebraska. She was a legal adult when we started hanging out. Legal adult. Now these people saying that I was a child molester for holding her hand, that's pretty fucking sick shit. That's going out of your way to twist stuff completely out of contortion. And I'm not a contortionist. It's also twisting it out of proportion to the actual events that occurred. Now, Natalie didn't just omit information on that protection order. She falsified information on that protection order. Primarily the part where she said that I parked behind her work for weeks. She didn't work there. So she lied on that. Were she alive today, I would be pressing charges against her and she would be going to court for false reporting. The other thing is, I can't get in trouble for false reporting on documents. The reason for that is because the one document that I was allowed to write and turn into the police, well, that one document was dictated to me by Officer Amanda Jonas. All other officers outright refused. All of them. So, these officers, however, wrote plenty down. They just didn't write down the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Every single one of these officers lied on these court documents. Every one of them. Why was I so adamant about getting an attorney, an actual attorney, instead of a public pretender? Because a public pretender will go out of their way to twist things so they don't have to do any work. A public pretender should not exist. Matter of fact, no lawyer should exist. You should be able to go in there and argue in your own defense. All of this legal loophole bullshit that they throw into place to fuck you over is unnecessary and uncalled for. All of this could have been taken care of by going down to the police station with me and Natalie talking to an arbiter. What's an arbiter? Well, it's somebody who tries to find an actual peaceful solution. All of this slander and bullshit didn't need to happen. I shouldn't have had to expose Natalie Bollinger for her heroin use. I should not have had to expose Natalie Bollinger's dad as a child molester, or Tim Beeson. These officers should have done their jobs, plain and simple.